So happy Tuesday, everyone. So glad that we are here in Satsang. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the third eye, but let's start with the Satsang overview and then we'll talk about the third eye, then we'll practice and, you know, hopefully uh, a short session today. So, So basically, satsang as the definition, if we break this down, sat plus sang, it's sang is to be with, sat, let's think of that as the transcendental energy. So to be with transcendental energy is satsang. Can be accomplished in multiple ways. One essential way is to meditate on this transcendental energy and, hence be with it. Inward orientation, that's key to this practice because, so far as we continue to look for peace and happiness, you know, outward focus, through outward focus, um, the the overall experience has been that peace is actually within, and hence you should have inner pursuits like inner satsang to reach to it. The outward focus and the outward attention or searching for peace in the outer world uh, tends to be futile because the world keeps changing, and as it changes, the peace that or happiness that we were looking for keeps changing, and hence it cannot be lasting peace there. Group sessions, essentially the group energy, the overall collective energy supports the individual practice that we need to evolve. And what that results into is joy and inner happiness being happiness that is not connected with material possessions or status or power or things like that. And so as we were where we started with, let's I think we might have seen this before, but let's look at the concept of third eye. Essentially, initially for me it was a mythological symbol or illustration, but later on I came to think of it with Guru Maharaj's writings and his explanation as almost like a spiritual state. But lately, there's a lot of discussion of the the inner glands that basically keep track of our circadian rhythm. uh, that are like buried into our brain. So, in a way, how do they keep track of, the it, cycle of the sun and, so on and so forth? So there seems to be a lot of discussion around, uh, you know, there is an I, which is not two of these physical eyes, um, and in a way, there is knowledge or perception that is beyond our two physical eyes. So let's look at that concept through this video, and then we'll get into the practice.
Hi everyone, my name is Parul, and this is my dad and my great-grandfather, and today we're going to be discussing the topic of opening your third eye, but actually the difference between going from your third eye and going into your heart center from there. So it's a pretty vast topic. If this is something that interests you, it'll be really interesting for you to hear that perspective from a very spiritual family, and I'm going to kick it off to my dad now.
So yeah, it's a deep question. I actually, this has been described in multiple contexts. Guru Maharaj has written several books, mostly in Hindi, and he does say that, if your goal was enlightenment, or he used to refer it as ocean of peace. So if you want to get to the ocean of peace, there are milestones for that path, or and there are 5-step process that thousands of years ago in Upanishads described it. So I have this pyramid which has 5 steps: realm of the world, realm of life, realm of the mind, realm of knowledge, and realm of love. So these 5 steps have to be crossed to get to that ocean of peace. Now the 4th realm, which is when you actually have controlled your mind through meditation, which Guru Maharaj prescribed a very unique and, in relatively speaking, rather simple process. So when you cross the realm of mind through meditation, you get into the 4th realm, which is realm of knowledge. That is where your third eye opens. So what does that mean? So you have 2 physical eyes, but there is the intellect, or the third eye, that opens up and gives you clarity that you never had before. Like opening the third eye depicts the enablement of dormant intellectual capabilities within your brain. So, we as humans have very deep mental powers, but we normally don't use them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So where does being psychic or, Reiki and all these topics that people love so much, and I've also loved them myself, but where do they land? Are they even in that 4th realm, or what is really opening the third eye? Are they connected? Are they unconnected?
So opening the third eye is almost your ability to grasp and perceive extremely deep and very complex subjects through means that were not, available to you earlier. So this 5-step process to the ocean of peace, as I was describing, is a spiritual journey. In this spiritual journey, through enabling your spiritual capabilities, you get more and more intuitive as you grow. You open up your inner voice. So a lot of what we call psychic capabilities is the ability to, let's say, see the future, or the ability to perceive things and read things that normal humans cannot. How would that happen? You will have to open up your intellectual capabilities that a lot of us do have, but we haven't enabled them. So it's like a switch. But that getting to that switch, knowing where that switch is and putting that on is like if I was in a dark room and if I put the switch on, the light comes on, I see a lot of things that I wasn't able to see before. That I call the third eye, that I call the psychic powers, that I call the mental powers. But a word of caution, Guru Maharaj, who enlightened himself, described the third eye and certain things beyond that, said that it's like you have lots of capabilities that you can acquire, but it's like investment into your bank account. If you start spending it, which is like you start using some of those capabilities early on, then you are dissipating that energy. Instead, if you invest into your spiritual journey, you will go all the way to the ocean of peace, to the state of enlightenment. So if you get stuck in the third or the fourth or the fifth realm in your journey, so you are still in the journey. So yes, it's a higher capability. Yes, we should all have that, but a lot of people don't need to demonstrate that because they want to continue the journey and want to go to where the real everlasting peace is, which should be the goal of all of us, right?
Agreed.
Sure.
Wow. So if we start spending, but let's say, we started telling people like,
that what
their
your
future or something,
is,
I don't know. Yeah. Like
I mean,
something
you
like
can
that.
read people's mind, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
And so let's say you start spending, but then you get to a place where you realize like you want to stop, and then you start it again.
So the thing is that, say, if you continue your meditative practices, the meditative practices that Guru Maharaj learned from his guru, the other Guru Maharaj, Lalaji Maharaj, he took him all the way. And what he realized was that one of the things you don't want to do is get stuck in a place where you are demonstrating your capabilities, and that's an outward activity. Mm-hmm. This journey is inwards. Peace is inside. So let's continue the journey till you get to the ocean of peace, right? So it's, I mean, if you have acquired some capabilities, if there is a dire need, use it. But if you, start using it to show that it's like a demonstration of, like worldly people do. You demonstrate that, oh, I have a nice shiny car, mm-hmm. right? It's very similar.
Yeah.
Right? So that doesn't really, it distracts you from your journey, I think.
Okay. I love that. So I think that was a good explanation of, your third eye opening and how you can use it to your own advantage. And keep working on the inner world instead of the outer world, which is so important right now. I think, especially with like spiritual entrepreneurs and all this stuff flourishing, it's nice to see, but it's also like not the basis of that real like spirituality of ascending into like liberation, right?
See, we are not here to sell peace. We are here to be at peace.
Yeah.
And if you are in that land, you become infectiously peaceful. What that means is everybody who comes in contact without buying anything becomes peaceful. So it's a different approach.
Yeah. All right, I love that. So I hope that was helpful. That is everything around opening your third eye and your abilities, but also making sure that you're not getting distracted. So hope you guys got something out of that. And I think that's a good place to end here.
Sure thing.
All right, bye.
All right. So it is another way to say that opening the third eye in some ways is about gyan or knowledge, the knowledge that gives you purpose in life. The a real purpose in life comes when clarity uh, dawns on us in terms of what we are here for. So let's, these are milestones, but what is essential is to continue the journey towards the land of peace. So let's get to that. So still and relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and think of the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light, and that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming the light. We are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. So the inward orientation is just simply two or three things here. One, eyes lightly closed because the sensory input is distracting us. Still and relaxed posture because every time the body moves, our mind moves with it. And also when we're concentrating, when we're thinking or observing or visualizing this transcendental energy in form of light, and we're trying to just, from the multitude of thoughts, we're coming to this one thought of observing this transcendental energy in form of light. Mind wanders away. So as soon as you realize mind has wandered away, another process here is, again, inward orientation. So bring it back on this thought and this thought alone, that transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, in front of us, and that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. So it is, if we do other things that help concentration, we can do before or after. During the meditation now, just feel the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light, and it is here. Feel that connection, feel the presence, and there is only that. Everything else fades away. Once we get into deep concentration on this thought, then this also goes away. We forget where we are, who we are, where we started even. But the backdrop that we have is this positive, uplifting energy. So to help concentration, we start with music, then music fades away, and then we go deep into this silent meditation, and then that results in higher consciousness, higher awareness. So let's start now. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So yeah, it's next weekend or the coming weekend will be there is a in-person session in Cleveland, Ohio. So looking forward to that. Um, so Anita ji, so Ajay ji and Anita ji are hosting that. So thoughts, comments, questions, anything to in person, it is so much easier to converse. Virtual, you have to make some effort.
Yes, Namaskar, Bhai Saab. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it is. We are waiting eagerly, very excited to welcome anyone who can come in person to Cleveland and also anyone who can join virtually. As usual, very, very grateful for this opportunity to Sanjeev ji and the blessings of Guru Maharaj that this was possible. Looking forward, very excited.
Yeah, expecting to meet some people. Yeah, this will be a good. I call them immersive weekends. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, so the link remains pretty much the same. So Saturday 10 a.m. and Tuesday 7 p.m. So that virtual link remains the same, the time pretty much the same. So Saturday 10 a.m. will be the first session, and the other two are traditional Hindi sessions. And Jeff, yeah, so I actually spoke to Eddie. He is recovering, still, he's saying probably he'll start joining back in November. So still a few weeks to go. Yeah, let's all pray for his quick recovery. So yeah, let's see how that works. But we're thinking the topic for next Saturday is mind an incredible machine. So it is an incredible machine. So, so yeah, really looking forward to that. So what else? Actually, it was an interesting article that I got forwarded. It's a Michael Pravica. He's a professor of physics at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. He is talking about human consciousness might originate from hidden dimensions of the universe rather than solely from the brain activity. Very interesting. So he's almost talking about, it's so there are like 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, and then if you go into higher dimensions, you know, it's interesting. So people are already saying that it's more of fiction. There was, but I believe that the perception that we have. I mean, consciousness, the way we understand it after all these all this progress and advancement. The more I study about it, like it's very, very minuscule that we actually know, and just a fascinating subject. Anyway. So Omkar, any thoughts, wrap up thoughts for today? Namaskar. That's it.
Bhaiya, namaste. No, I was just like when you talked about the science, I was just thinking that science, where science stops, the spirituality starts. The science is only for the physical world and the consciousness and all those things that come into picture that are beyond the reach of science, and there is no explanation. So for that one. So like now these days, like people talk about that this is science, like you can see, but like when the energy enters in the body and it gets out of the body is left motionless. So that entering and exiting of the energy is beyond science, and probably I don't know if the science will ever be able to solve that puzzle.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, throughout the ancient times, basically humans always take up a process of progressing to higher states, but always gravitate towards the physical existence. Because, like science, if you really look at it, the skepticism against religions, science actually wanted to prove everything that was, so instead of blind faith, let's prove and move. So it was almost like, quote unquote, a replacement of religion and blind faith. And the idea was to understand the higher realms with evidence. But what happened was, as usual, things gravitate towards the physical existence, and it has made the physical comfort, even health, and all that in terms of physical wellness. I mean, today, after all these years of scientific progress, how much we have actually learned or tackled, mental disease um, and psychological wellness. It's still very, very limited. So it's interesting. All right. On that note, let's all try to be there Saturday, 10 a.m. And we'll see you all soon. Light, love, and peace be with you. You know, inculcate this transcendental energy. So basically the thought process is that every morning, every evening, refresh your energy, refresh. So go into the day with a refreshed and energized self. And then at the end of the day, uh, cleanse, re-energize, and hence that becomes a cycle. And slowly you satsang, which is living with this enormously uplifting positive energy, becomes like second nature. You figure out ways to connect or stay connected all the time, so that the uh, downward slide and the negativity that we generally get surrounded by, uh, outside, within and outside, all that is dispelled and replaced with this transcendental energy. So that's what I think I call living with light, love, and peace. So on that note, see you all soon, and stay with the energy.
Everyone.
Bye.